Hello. It's been a few weeks. It's been hard to stream lately, I gotta admit. I don't know what it is. Wife has things that come up, kids have things that come up, and it just gets hard to stream. You can see that the setup is it's different today. It's a special Thanksgiving setup. There's no special lighting in the back, and we have a monkey right here to the side of me. Just me and my monkey. Um, but hey, here we are. And when you happen to come into the chat, give me a hello and we can talk about some things. We know that Top Shot is doing some things. Top Shot has a new pack coming out. It's the Rookie Origins pack, and we can go take a look at that. Right off the bat, I like the fact that since these packs have a little bit of a special event for each one, we get like a nice blog post, some nice graphics, and some nice education on what's going on in these packs. And that's something I appreciate. I think this is something that was kind of missing in previous series when packs were kind of hitting the timeline super quickly. And now that they're not, then it gives a chance to kind of absorb some of this stuff. So this is this pack right here, and Boston Base is here. Hello, sir. Monkeying around, he says. And yeah, this is the packs. The first rookie rare moments of the season are here. And you can just go through and take a look at some of these moments that are coming. You can see what these parallels are. So, we got more of those parallels, the hex wave, the jukebox. We got some autographs in here out of 10. The packs, the boxes, the cases. There's the price points. You see it's $2,500 for a case, which comes with 25 standard packs, 3 case toppers with high-end hits in there. And then you got the boxes for $250. And those are 5 packs and 2 toppers. And then you have the standard packs. But those are not sold individually. So if I'm understanding this correctly, it's just cases and boxes. So if you want a guaranteed rare moment or moments, it would be this pack here, the box for $250. Otherwise, you would have to go for the chance hits. And those chance hits are only $3 for a single moment in the pack. And you got some interesting moments that are going to be in these packs, including a Yao Ming Heroes of the Game moment. That is pretty cool. Also, an Allen Iverson Supernova, Oscar Robertson. So that's fun. Those are new. And we got our trade ticket packs back. Single trade ticket packs, 18,500 packs. And they cost 10 trade tickets. And you got these Kingmaker moments too, these skylines. The skylines, we can look at those in a second. I think they're on this thread. If we just keep going down, there's a lot of information here. But it says across this drop, parallels follow a clear tiered structure. You have your most scarce here, then your Mojo, your Equinox, and your Origins. And then you're also going to have more rookie debuts, clamps, vintage vibes, and your base set. And then on Black Friday, which is tomorrow, there's going to be some trade-in opportunities. You can trade in any rare moment, it looks like, and you get $10 of credit. There's 2,000 of those, and I'm sure they're going to go fast. And then you can trade in any legendary moment and get $100 of credit. So, yeah, things are happening on Top Shot. I thought that they showed the new parallels, which were kind of fun to look at. And now I don't see them. So there must have been in some other blog post or a link that I'm just forgetting to click. I don't know. But they look pretty cool. Oh, here they are. Here they are. Boston says, "Are you eating turkey out of respect for us Americans?" No, no, I'm not. I had what did I eat for dinner today? I had meatballs. Meatballs, a Thanksgiving tradition. Yeah. So here's the new parallels: Kingmaker, Skyline, and Mojo. I think they look really good. I got to say, the art looks really good. These look awesome. Meaning, super cool. I mean, Kate Cunningham is having an incredible season. Luka Doncic will always be a sore topic for me forever, and I'm not even a Mavericks fan. The Skyline one is pretty interesting. I mean, this is interesting because these are moments when we've had these team moments before, like threads and fresh thread. No, what was it called again? Fit check and other team moments. Those usually are not as highly priced in the marketplace. So it will be interesting to see how these land. These are one of one team moments. But it is cool how they're honoring specific teams because they're having really interesting start of their season. I think that's really cool. And that actually brings me back to kind of the grand vision for Top Shot, which is that it becomes like an encyclopedia of the NBA. I don't feel like it's there yet. Right now, it's just kind of a marketplace with moments from most recent to least recent. That to me is not an encyclopedia of the NBA. But this kind of thing is sort of going in that direction, in my opinion, where you can say like 25, 26, these are the teams that really showed up in the beginning of the first couple months of the season. There's something there. I feel like you need to take it a step further because otherwise this is just kind of going to be one more moment in the marketplace. A big part of what I feel like Top Shot has to do to really become even more culturally relevant to basketball is for it to become like an encyclopedia of the game. Anyway, those are the Skyline, and then you have these Mojo legendaries, which appear. I don't know if these are like the legendaries for the players that normally wouldn't get one. I don't think so. I mean, you got some big names here. Shengun's a pretty big name. I think Ware will be a pretty hot moment that people want their hands on. So yeah, I mean, the parallels, they look really good. The art looks really good. They clearly are leaning into parallel art this year as a nod to what works on the other platforms. And I think that that's great. Use what works, use it on your own platform, go from there. Okay, that's about it on that note. Whoops, where did I go? I'm gone. Let's bring me back. I don't know how to use this software. Let's stop sharing the screen. Oh, there we go. Now I'm back. So, yeah, what else do you want to talk about? Let me take a look real quick. Yeah, so you got those new packs. It'll be interesting to see how those sell because usually you have a rare pack, you have like a $50 option. This time you don't. So it'll be interesting if those 250 ones get eaten up and also if like they have high resale because we've seen that the other packs still have a pretty good resale, the rookie packs, because there's still some hits in there. We also didn't really look at these analytics yet, which are pretty cool if you haven't checked that out. So if you go look here, for example, this is Cooper Flag, and you can actually click a button here, which is analytics. That'll then show you how any moment is trending. It'll also show you what the gap is between offers and listings. So that's also kind of interesting to see because sometimes that gap can be small. And then you can see how many are still in packs, which is pretty cool too. So like there's a special cereal still in a standard pack, which is pretty cool, I think. It's pretty cool to be able to take a look at that and to be able to see where the other cereals are too. Like maybe you really like the 111 cereal, and then you can go and buy these packs right here, the premium pack. I think that's pretty neato. So if you haven't checked that out, you should. Boston Base is asking, is Topshop bringing in new users? That where's that Twitter account that tells us new users? I can't even remember the name of it. Is it Live Token? I don't even remember. Is Live Token the one that tells us new users? Live Token bot. Yes, I think so. Let me see if I can do that. So the Delta new users. It looks like this week 182 new users, which was down 12% compared to the previous week. Sales were up 26,636 sales. The gross market value also was up. Sellers up, buyers down. Um, so yeah, that's the numbers on new users. I think it's also interesting to, because sometimes new users. Can you hear me, by the way? Hopefully that wasn't just silent the whole time. But what's interesting too is to look at the new users, but also to look at like the names that are buying these notable moments. I find that interesting too. Because ideally, you want to see names that are not just the same names over and over again. So, Cute Nick, we obviously know about Cute Nick, Big Data Bear, Nerja, but it's good to see new names. It's basically the potentially new collectors because you can have a bunch of new collectors that are coming from wherever, but are these people actually buying stuff? And that's where I think it's interesting to see that kind of a thing, to see those kind of names that are actually buying the big stuff, the big highly priced stuff. And Boston Bay says, I'd like to see some real effort to bring new people in. I mean, I know that there's effort being done behind the scenes. I don't know all the details of everything that's being done, but I mean that's obviously a big focus if you're on the marketing side of Top Shot. I mean, I'm still doing some marketing for Top Shot, and that's part of what I'm doing is looking for channels where there are people that are not already aware of Top Shot that are becoming educated and becoming more aware of Top Shot, specifically in the short form video department. So that's some of the consulting work that I do continue to do with Top Shot. But I know that there's definitely more stuff being done beyond that. What else do you guys want to talk about? I see a few more people just joined the chat. Um, I feel like there's so much less drama on Top Shot lately that it's almost like it gives me less things to talk about in a way. It's great to see new things being released. It's great to see, for example, they just did these packs that are like collector influenced packs. I thought that was pretty cool. I think it will be cool also one day when you can like repack your own packs, make your own packs for other people. I know that's something that people were asking for. We have the trade-ins for special cereals. I know some people don't like that because of the whole Rui Hachimura thing that was happening. And on one hand, I do wonder if it's almost like you got to get all the Rui Hachimuras out of the way because maybe the system itself is pretty good. It probably could be fixed when you can make some adjustments to liquid moments. I like that's what I would have liked to see with these auctions. But maybe it's a situation where like you just got to burn off all the Rui Hachimura until you can really get to the good stuff, until you can really get to the good burns. Um, but yeah, you got these packs available, ready to rip. You can see what's in them and see if it's worth your time. I mean, I was curious about these packs to maybe rip with you all, but then I looked at what's remaining and like a bunch of the top hits are no longer there. Like the top hit is now this Keyshawn George, which has a low ask of 85. I mean, obviously, it's way more interesting to see moments like these ones at the top. Even if your chance of hitting are super low, it's way more interesting to see those in there, isn't it? Um, you can see Dharma Gardner just purchased a Ryan Nemhard. There you go, Dharma Gardner. And Publius Lord just bought this base set for $4. I wonder why he spent $4 on it. What? Oh, it's a series 1, that's why. I thought that was the series 2. I'm like, "Wow, I didn't know." This is the Mellow TSD for $4, yeah. Uh, you know, you'd like to think that when Top Shot has more of a critical mass, a Carmelo Anthony TSD might be worth a little more than $5, or maybe not. I don't know what it should be worth. What would the equivalent of a Carmelo Anthony cost in physical? I don't know. Um, let's see. This might be a short episode today, to be honest. Uh, it's a little cozy, and I'll be honest, it has been hard to get the stream going lately, and I am a little exhausted, to be honest. Last night, my daughter woke me up twice in the middle of the night, and I am hurting. But one thing we can do is we can run this Beezy picker. So why don't we do that real quick? Let's go see who's going to win that Allen Iverson rookie card from the folks at Beezy. Here we go. Let's see who wins. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yum Yum is the winner. So there you go. Yum Yum, you have won an Allen Iverson rookie card from Beezy. Actually, instead of doing that, let me just share it. Is that going to work? Yeah. There you go. Congratulations to Yum Yum. Boston Base says it's just a pleasure to see you alive and breathing. Thank you, Boston Base. That's so nice. It is. It's good to be alive and to be breathing. I talked about this on the timeline, by the way, and I was watching The Office, and I don't know if you saw the tweet already, Boston Base, but I was really taken back by how much the US office changed the whole format and the whole feel of The Office. Now, I don't know if you guys watch The Office. I don't know if I'm just having a conversation with myself here, but I watched the UK version of The Office. Must have been around 10 years ago, or maybe even more, the Ricky Gervais original. And there were 2 seasons of that show. And it was really a really well-made show, really clever, really every scene it felt had something to it. Then the American Office gets created, and it's 9 seasons long. Not only is it 9 seasons long, but the whole idea behind the show, it becomes almost like a soap opera. It's all about relationships. It's all about like Michael Scott who's in love with this woman and then that woman. He can't find the right woman and he wants to raise a family. And then you have like the Dwight Schrute character is in love with the other character, and then the other person comes to the office and he's in love with her, and then Jim and Pam are in love. And to me, I just feel like American Office, they turned it into a soap opera instead of what it was. There's definitely some funny moments, but man, 9 seasons. There's probably like 200 episodes or something or more. There's probably like 9. I don't know how many. 300 episodes? I don't even know how many. Alexo's here. Hello, my friend. Thank you for being here. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I wanted to talk about that for a minute. Mr. Kicker is here. Brian's here. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Mr. Kicker. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here in this little cozy little group. This little cozy little group we have of Thanksgiving internet users. But yeah, so The Office. That's what I watch at night when I'm trying to put my daughter to sleep because she takes forever to fall asleep. And so instead of just lying there in the darkness while I'm holding her to make her sleep, I watch The American Office. So I don't know. If you guys have better shows that you can recommend, let me know. I heard that Pluribus is really good by the guy who made Breaking Bad. And there's probably some other good shows that I've not even started that are also good. And then there's Stranger Things. Stranger Things just came out. Casino Night, he says. I liked Casino Night. No, there's definitely some good episodes. The one I just watched was when Dwight starts a fire in the office and That was pretty, like, ridiculous, very slapstick, very kind of, like, out of control, funny stuff going on there, and there are funny moments for sure in the show, but it's just like NBC had to turn it into a soap opera to make all the people keep coming back because that's what keeps people coming back, like the conflict and the romance and all that. Chair Company, I actually saw like one episode of it. I liked it. I think I'm almost waiting for all the episodes to air so I can just go through them all at once. And Pluribus, I need to watch that. Yeah, that's what it's called, Pluribus. But yeah, the Office is funny. It definitely has its moments, but I think if the UK version is way more like concentrated of like really funny stuff happening all the time, whereas the American Office is a lot more spread out. It's a lot more watered down. There's a lot. They created so much more storyline from kind of nothing, just because they had to milk that cash cow as long as they could for 9 seasons, whereas Ricky Gervais as a filmmaker, he all the shows he's ever made, I think he's always done like 2 seasons because most shows after 2 seasons start to jump the shark a little bit. There's very few shows after 2 seasons that continue to perform at the same level that they did the first 2 seasons. Very few. I mean, there's obviously examples like The Wire, Breaking Bad. I'm sure there's other ones too. I'm sure people would say Game of Thrones before the last season, but, I think the majority kinda jumped the shark. Seinfeld, but you look at The Office, the USA Office, and I would kinda compare it to Friends, right? Because Friends did a similar thing. I was never a big Friends watcher, but Friends was always about, like, who was dating who and the relationship drama and that kinda soap opera element. And Seinfeld wasn't, and The American Office has become that, in my opinion. I mean, I'm just catching up. I'm on like season 5 or something, and it's very much so. It's very much a bit of a comedy mixed with a soap opera. Share Company rocks is Boston based. Alexa says Sunday is the finale. Catch up. All right, I got to catch up because yeah, the first episode was really funny. That was really good. There's one clip actually of what's the name again? I forget, Tim Robinson, when like he's looking, he's researching on the internet, and he just has such a funny reaction. He goes like, like I can't do it justice, but it was really funny. Anyway, very funny show. Um, What else, guys? Like, I don't have much to talk about, to be honest. That's another reason. Like, I know Boston Bay said it's good to just see me alive and breathing. Well, that's about all you're getting right now. I just don't have much to talk about. My car's in the shop or needs to go to the shop. That's something that's been stressing me out. Um, the weather has changed. It's taken a turn. It's a little cold here. Living over here in Portugal, it's a little cold. Not as cold as living in New York or in Boston, Mass, but it's cold. What else? I don't know. I don't have much to share. My brother's visiting me. I got to meet my niece for the first time. That was really nice. She's a little 1-year-old girl. So that was really sweet. That was really nice. Uh, I'm not going to Brazil this summer. I mean, this winter. It's summer there. Unfortunately, I'm not going because the plane tickets were so expensive, and cash is a little tough at the moment. And those tickets were very pricey. They were like triple what they should be. So I told my wife, listen, we're going to have to go another time. So instead, I'm going on Easter. I'm going to go to Brazil on Easter. And for Christmas, we are going to drive to Spain because Portugal is neighboring with Spain. My wife wants to go to Madrid. So we're going to drive to Spain. But then my car starts having troubles. I drive a French car. I love this car actually. It's a manual car. I had to learn to drive stick shift here in Europe. I didn't know how to drive stick shift. When I got here, I had to learn. I rented a manual car and I would drive around in circles in the parking lot over and over again until I could learn how to drive a manual car. And then I love driving a manual car. And so I have this Peugeot. It's like it's a small car, but it's a great car. I love it. French car. And it's got some issue with the timing belt for those of you who know anything about cars. So I don't know. This car could like freaking stop working any moment on the highway and it's driving me nuts. So I've been calling repair shops every day trying to figure out when the soonest is that I can get this car seen. It's got to be done at the official dealership, and these dealerships don't have any availability until like the end of December. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to be driving to Spain in the middle of December or like the middle to late December. So that's been tough. That's been something I've been dealing with as well. Alexa says, "How about Anthony? Anthony is great. Ex-Blazer. He's a great player. He reminds me of Dame Lillard." It is very interesting though. Like my concern about the Celtics right now is that they're going to get stuck in the middle of the pack. But Celtics don't tank. I mean, they've been playing pretty well. I think they just beat the Pistons, and the Pistons have been amazing. So I'm just worried though, because Celtics are literally in the middle of the standings right now. Although it's pretty tight in the East. They're 10-8. I mean, can I share this? I don't know how to share that. Hold on. We can look at standings together. Here we go. So yeah, the Celtics are right in the middle of the pack at 10-8. And it's amazing that the teams like the Pistons and the Raptors are up at the top. That's incredible. 9-1 in their last 10. Unbelievable. And the Heat as well. I did not expect the Heat to be this good. The standings are really flipped on their head, aren't they? Like the Bucks down here. I mean, I didn't know the Pacers were going to be this bad because they lost Halliburton and they lost Miles Turner. But the Sixers down here, the Bulls had a great start, but now they're in the 9 seed. I think the Magic were my sleeper pick in the East, and they're also in the middle of the pack. The Atlanta Hawks are always in the middle of the pack. I think people expected the Cavs to be at the top of the pack, but no one expected the Pistons nor the Raptors to be this high. So that's really unbelievable, and kudos to those fans. But yeah, Celtics middle of the pack. I'm worried about that. I'm worried they're just going to get some shitty draft pick and finish in the middle of the pack. And basically get, maybe they have a good couple series in the playoffs, or maybe they surprise some people in the playoffs. Who knows? But I am concerned. I don't want to be in the middle of the pack. I want to be at the top or the bottom. Middle's not such a good place to be when it comes to the basketball standings. And then over here in the West, this is a lot more predictable. The Thunder are amazing, 18-1. I mean, they look like shoo-ins to be back-to-back champions right now. They look really strong. And the Lakers also really strong. I mean, the Lakers are usually the soap opera team themselves, like the sweetheart team of the NBA that everyone hypes up and then they consistently underperform. But not this year so far, because Luka Magic is doing his thing. Nuggets, perennial stars, Jokic. And then, of course, you got the Rockets with Durant. They are kind of a sweetheart team this year as well. And the Spurs. I think the Spurs are the team that people are hyping up and thinking that they could do something special. But right now, Wemby's injured, of course. I think people thought the T-Wolves would be better. The Clippers definitely underperforming big time. And even though the Mavs don't have Anthony Davis, I think a lot of people thought, myself included, that the Mavs would be better. I thought they would be better than this. So that's what's going on in the standings. Oh, look at that. Thank you so much, Boston Base. That's a really generous donation. $10 for the car fund. That's so kind. Thank you, Boston Base. That's really nice. Alexo said, my aunt will be in Spain for Christmas as well. Boston Base is in Texas. And Alexa also drives a manual. That's cool. Clutch time, exactly. And that should cover it, said Boston Base. Well, that'll cover like half the Uber just to come back home when I have to when I have to leave my car at the shop. But that's a very generous donation either way. So thank you so much. That's very, very kind. Um, he says that the Celtics will rise. I mean, it's possible. I'd rather see them rise and surprise a lot of people than be stuck in the middle. I want to be able to root for them. I want them to be able to maybe surprise some people come playoff time. I just don't want them to be stuck in the middle, basically. Um, let's see. What else do you guys want to talk about? Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Uh, I don't think so. Oh, actually, I started watching a movie today. I started watching a movie called The Smashing Machine by one of the Safdie brothers. So I loved Uncut Gems, which was by both of the Safdie brothers. And then one of the Safdie brothers did this movie with The Rock called The Smashing Machine. And it's like a true story about this guy from the UFC, I believe. And I think what was interesting about him is he did a bunch of steroids, and I think he had a difficult home life. And I think what's interesting about the movie itself is that The Rock is finally playing a role that shows a little bit of his acting chops, and not just him doing a slop action movie where he plays basically the same character every single time and gets paid millions of dollars to do it. This is like his first artistic kind of indie movie. And I watched like the first 30 minutes of it, and I got to say it bored me to freaking tears. I don't know if Stan Loves is in the chat cuz he's my film critic who tells me I'm wrong all the time with about movies. GB is here. He says he is alive. I know, GB. It's been tough to stream lately, but thank you for being here. War Games, says Alexa. What's War Games? Is that a WWF pay-per-view? I don't know what that is. Um, but yeah, so the movie, not very good. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but there's another Safdie brother movie that I want to see very badly, which is Marty Supreme, which is about a ping pong player, and that's with Timothy Chalamet. And apparently that is very much more the same kind of vibe as Uncut Gems, where it's like edge of your seat, can't stop watching, can't every scene just is gripping is you just it goes by in an instant. That's how I felt watching One Battle After Another, to be honest. Every scene, it was a super long movie. It was like 2.5 hours, but it went by in a flash because every scene was just so well crafted. And I can't say that for Smashing Machine thus far. 30 minutes in, I'm like, damn, this is a slow movie. It's basically watching like I don't know, like a they're basically taking like real fights and then making them more cinematic and then adding a little bit of conflict in like the locker room between him and his wife. It's just not very good so far. Apparently it gets better. Apparently the ending is good, but so far not so good. Alexa says it's a 5 versus 5 cage match, War Games. I think that's this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, because I see it on Netflix. And Banana Mac is here. She says, "What's good? What's going on, Banana Mac? How are you?" And congratulations to your Raptors, Banana Mac. Yeah, I don't know. What else do you guys want to talk about? Smashing Machine. Not so good. Is there anything else that I saw recently that I liked? I don't think so. I feel like maybe I should prepare a little bit more for these streams. Or I should have somebody on that I interview. That's always easier. Then I can just pick people's brain. And then I just chill while they say the interesting things. That's what I should do. But then booking guests is also hard. Making that work is not easy. Let's see. Is there anything on the timeline? Should I scroll the timeline and see if anything interesting is going on? Let's see. This is always a good account to follow. It's the NBA Top Shot tracker. You can see who's buying Cooper Flag. There's Baby Shark, FT Dub. LHS Knights bought this Vucevic for nearly $1,000. That's a perfect serial Vucevic. So, I mean, that's always good to see that. I mean, it's like the less obvious stuff. It's always fun and good to see when like the less obvious stuff is getting scooped up. I like seeing that kind of thing. Uh Burko Kid buying this Anthony Davis Western Conference Finals moment. I also saw that they upgraded the series, the sets pages, which is pretty cool. So I see this kind of thing, and it makes me think that maybe he's collecting the Western Conference Finals set. Is there anything else that we can look at together? Um, I don't know. You're probably just gonna see crazy stuff on my timeline. There's Donald Trump falling asleep. There's DJ Khaled being very large. Drake drinking something. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's some WWF for Alexa when Rhea Ripley popped her shoulder back into her. She popped her shoulder back into place by smacking it into the announcer table. Anyway, this is weird too. I don't. What the hell is this about? I've seen this same joke done like twice about people making jokes about attractive cousins at Thanksgiving. What's wrong with people? When did people start making light of having relations with your cousin? I never heard of that before. I mean, it's one thing to, you know, I mean, when I was younger, it would be a friend of the family, and you'd say like, "Oh wow, that she's really cute." But your cousin? What happened? Where did the AI slop kind of melt everyone's brain, and people are now getting attracted to their cousins, or they think that's a funny joke to make? Because that's completely screwed up. Uh, Banana saying that the Raptors are taking the East, and she says it's easy. Check out collecting and connecting. I don't even know what I was talking about. Something is easy if you watch collecting and connecting. That's all I know. Something that I said is easy if you watch collecting and connecting. Oh, she's saying I have nothing to talk about. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I need the booker on collecting and connecting to just book guests for me. So, Banana, if you want to make that happen, let me know. Send me guests. I'll throw a collecting and connecting picture on my stream. Actually, I don't think I can because I don't pay for restream. So, just kidding. um, what else, guys? Is there anything else you want to talk about? You want to throw some comments in the chat and we'll just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about? I mean, I know today's Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying Thanksgiving, you guys and you girls, with your friends and or family. And if you don't have friends or or family on Thanksgiving, then hopefully you can use this day to just be thankful for what you do have instead of thinking about what you don't have. Do you have your health? Yeah. Do you have your own family? Do you have a pet that you like? Do you have a job that you enjoy? Were you able to eat a meal that you really liked in the recent days? You know, that's how I like to think about Thanksgiving. Instead of like putting this pressure on yourself that it has to be some perfect family dinner. I think that's all a bunch of Hallmark bullshit. If you can have a nice family dinner on special dates like Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever the case may be, great. But you shouldn't feel like without that, there's something wrong with you or, you know, people's situations are all different. So hopefully that I don't know. Hopefully that's helpful. If Thanksgiving, and it's because I know some people do have struggle on holidays like this. I think I saw something like that on the timeline. Not everyone has a good relationship with their family. Not everyone likes talking to their parents even or their siblings. So it's good to think about other ways to make the most out of a special day like this, instead of having that massive pressure um, about the day. And actually, now that I remember, this guy that I lived with in Seattle when I was living in Seattle for a little while. So I couch surfed across the U.S. and I couch surfed at this guy's house in Seattle, and then I ended up actually moving in. I paid him rent and lived in the apartment. Um, and he was a nice guy. And then, I don't really keep really close contact with him, but I saw on Instagram he made some posts that said he was going to go do like a retreat right before Thanksgiving, and he was going to do this retreat like away from everyone for a week before and after Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving had such like an emotion. It held such an emotional weight for him because he wasn't talking to his brother. I don't think he was talking to his family. And like he basically just made this post on Instagram to say, "Yeah, I'm taking time off. I'm gonna go take care of myself." And I think that well, it's kind of a shame that there's that emotional weight. I think that's kind of what I'm alluding to. That like certain days out of the year create this massive emotional weight. Anyway, I'm kind of just spieling at this point, if that's a word. Spieling. I'm speaking my spiel, and hopefully that is helpful. But I can't believe we're actually at 45 minutes. I gotta admit, it always surprises me. I'm like, what did I talk about for 45 minutes? I don't even know. I don't know what I talked about for 45 minutes. I'm not getting any prompts in the chat, that's for sure. So I don't know. But if you guys don't have anything else that you want to talk about, though, I probably will call it a night shortly. But Mr. Kicker says, Cowboys game is on. You guys have a great day. Hope to see you next week on Tandy Time. Thank you, Brian, Mr. Kicker. I hope the Cowboys win for you if you're rooting for them. And Airplane Mode is here. He says, Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Airplane Mode. What is your favorite Thanksgiving food, by the way? Do you guys have a favorite Thanksgiving food? Do you eat turkey, or are you a modern individual who feels like turkey is not that good? Or are you someone who's keeps it very standard and you think to yourself, I don't care if turkey is more dry than chicken. On Thanksgiving, I eat turkey, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. I personally, I don't mind turkey, but it needs to be like swimming in gravy and stuffing and mashed potatoes and the cranberry sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like you really got to dress up a piece of turkey to make it taste good, in my opinion. Whereas a piece of chicken, shit, you could have like a piece of chicken by itself. It's delicious. I don't think that's the case with turkey. But one thing I will say is that when I was at Disneyland in Paris, some people were eating this big ass turkey bone, and that looked pretty damn good. Airplane Mode says stuffing is his favorite. Yep. I think it's hard to disagree with that one. Stuffing is delicious. There's actually a food in Portugal that's similar to stuffing. It's called migas. I think it's called migas. Kind of sounds like Migos, like the rap group, but it's made out of bread and what else? It's kind of like stuffing. It's like spongy. It's made out of bread, and then they put like a soup on top of it, or like a saucy dish on top of it. It's not bad. I think the traditional stuffing though from Thanksgiving is probably the best though. I don't think Portugal can come close with their fake stuffing. Anything else, guys? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Otherwise, I'll cut it a little early today because my wife wants to use the room. And like I said, I'm pretty tired from yesterday. So let me know. And congratulations again to Yom Yoms. I see people are still interacting though on that post. I should probably say on the post that a winner has been selected. Uh, Let me just do that real quick. I'm gonna quote tweet or just put it in the put in the reply. That's about it, everybody. I appreciate you being here, especially on a night like tonight when I don't really have that much to talk about. I'll give you a little clip of "We Love the Community." No, just kidding. I won't because Restream doesn't let me do it. I forgot. Uh, Airplane Mode says, "Sounds like you'd dab it, kind of like the Migos." Yeah, I guess so. I guess I would. I'm not hip enough to know exactly what you mean by that, but I'm sure it's a rap lyric. um, I actually saw a kind of funny, cute clip of Offset. Although Offset might be kind of a terrible person. I don't know. It depends what you believe on the timeline, but he's like rapping with his kid, and that was pretty cute. That was on Twitter. Anyways, thank you for hanging out with me. The few of you that decided to come and hang out, I appreciate that, and thank you to Boston Base for the very kind um, stream donation. That was very kind, Boston Base. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you celebrate it, if you want to go watch football, I hope you go watch some football. I hope your team wins. And I'm not going to say I'm going to talk to you next week because I don't know for sure if I'm going to talk to you next week the way that it's been going, but I might talk to you next week. We'll see. We'll see next week if I talk to you next week. I don't know if I will or not. But I appreciate you all, and we will talk again soon.
Static Selector.